Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Random Chatter. I am Eric and I am not here with Lou. I'm not here with Tim. I am not here with Lizzie. But I am here with Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Did we space Lou?
I mean, why not? Why not space Lou? Lou spaces everybody else in every video game he plays. So yeah.
It's only fair, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
He can do the space. He can do the spacewalk and get to the next ship in time, right?
Absolutely. And then Tim is not here because he is in intense physical agony at the moment, like for real. He's okay. Everybody, but so he is definitely not. He's so doped up on pain meds right now. It could be very entertaining to have him on a podcast, but couldn't talk him into it. He's not that doped up on pain meds, apparently. Lizzie's not here because, normally we do this on Sunday night. It's Monday because yesterday was a holiday, so, Valentine's Day. So we postponed it until today, which is a holiday. Yeah, not everything we do makes much sense around here, but then neither does the news, and that is what we are here to cover in what's actually our second take on this episode because we had a technical issue earlier, but that's okay. We don't have a lot to cover this week, a lot of little things, but we do have one really interesting thing, which is kind of in your wheelhouse, being one of the hosts of DC Talk. We have a couple of DC related things, and one is we have the new Justice League trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is titled Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Because of course it is.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think I'm a little bit more excited about this than I was the original cut. This is coming to HBO Max on March 18th. Mm-hmm. And is it also going to be, it's also supposed to be hitting theaters, right?
It's supposed to be also getting the theatrical release. It's going to be a 4-hour movie. Okay. I know that there's going to be a 10-minute intermission. I'm hoping that's only for theaters because, well, that's what pause buttons are for when we're streaming.
Yeah, if it's at home and they put like even a 1-minute intermission, if you're streaming something, is obnoxious. But like, I literally don't need them to insert a pause button in the content at home. I have a pause button.
Well, okay, to be fair, movies like Gone with the Wind, My Fair Lady, stuff like that, they do when they run on cable and stuff. There is an intermission.
But that's more because, well, not everybody, like on cable and stuff, not everybody's always had a DVR. I mean, years ago that wasn't a thing. And the other thing too is like preserving the original thing. Mm-hmm. There's a vintage aspect to that. I really don't think that Justice League is really quite at that vintage level of.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
you're probably right about that. Either way, and like that's if there is a 10-minute intermission for the stream, that's what the fast forward button is for.
That's true.
Maybe it's enough time to get up and go refill my water bottle or check my phone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Water bottle. What are you doing? You're at home. You can drink like whatever you want. It's not like the theater where it's, oh yeah, just give me some water. I can't afford $27.50 for a small soda.
Yeah, I just keep this around. I just refill it all the time.
Okay. You and your martial arts health stuff. Just because you could totally kick my butt doesn't mean I'm not going to make fun of you for it.
Well, that's because you're on the other side of the country and safe. I can't reach you.
I am safe. Yeah. Yes. You may know how to wield a bow staff, but the staff's not that long.
Nope. But if you're ever over here, then that's gonna be different.
Yeah. I'll be in stealth mode.
Yeah. Of course, if I ever find out that you Tim and Lou are out here for like Battle Boss or something, and you did not call me.
No, we would definitely call you because I can run faster than probably Lou or Tim. So I'm okay. You know the old adage, all I have to do is trip one of them and then I'm safe. It's all good.
I outrun, so
there you go.
that might not be a problem for any of you.
But
like I'm ahead of you.
Tell me a little bit about Justice League. Like, we're not going to get in like do a whole analysis of either the movie or the trailer or anything. But like, are you excited for this? Is this something?
I am. And for the record, I did not hate the original release of Justice League. I recognize the issues with it, and Mike and I are going back through the movies leading up to Justice League over the next month, and I do notice the shift in tone from Man of Steel and BVS to the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, and there are other problems with the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, which are issues that did not make it onto screen.
Yeah.
But we'll probably talk about that at some other point. But I liked it. I kind of got what they were talking about with, like, I had no problems with the humor, but I got anyone who's complaining that they were trying to do the Marvel thing, they were trying to make it funny. I got what they were trying to get out there.
I thought the humor was okay. My issue with it was more, the story felt a little bit disjointed, and I knew about all the dark side stuff, and I knew that it had gotten cut, and I kind of felt like they had already been kind of planting seeds leading toward that. And I think that's good. That's something the DC universe needs. And then they just cut all of it out. And I think that was a problem. And I'm really glad to see that this new cut is going to put all that dark side stuff back in. For those who don't know, the same comic book writer who created Thanos years and years and years and years ago also created Darkseid, a kind of a similar character, similar concept for DC, and different powers and a different story to tell. But even visually, they kind of looked similar.
A little bit, yeah. But I mean, he also created the rest of the New Gods, and Ava DuVernay is going to be working with those at some. That's the movie she's working on.
Okay.
But they haven't really given us any more information about that either. And yeah, I'm not the hugest Darkseid fan, but you can't just name drop Darkseid like they did in the original release of Justice League and then never give it to us.
That's the problem. There was just so much pointing to that, and then it just all vanished.
Yeah, that would be like name dropping the Emperor at the beginning during A New Hope, and then we never see him.
Yeah, pretty similar to that. I'm glad that they're fixing a lot of that and they're bringing them back in. So. Yeah. I don't know. March 18th, not that too far away. So I guess we're finally going to get a look at it, and we'll see whether or not it was worth all of this hype and drama and all that's been going on about it over the last few years. I'm optimistic. I liked the good things about Justice League. There were just a lot of bad things about Justice League too. But I appreciated the good stuff, and I would like to see whether this kind of fixes things. And if it does, I hope that they use this as the canonical version to go and spin off more of the whole Darkseid story.
Well, I know that Zack Snyder has said that they have not talked to him about a sequel for Justice League. And me personally, I am hoping, because there is a lesser campaign to get the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and David Ayer has said that his version of Suicide Squad would only need a few extra tweaks to do what he had wanted to do with
How is a
Suicide
complete
Squad
rewriting of the ending a few minor tweaks?
Well, that was what the studio wanted. I mean, he had references to the New Gods, and they wouldn't let him use it.
I don't know that it would have fit Suicide Squad. The Suicide. So we're talking about the first Suicide Squad movie, not the upcoming one. which I'm actually
Not
pretty
the James
hopeful
Gunn
for the
one,
upcoming one. But no, the ending for Suicide Squad was so bad. Just so bad.
It was apparently it was supposed to be darker, which I would have
mean,
liked. I mean, I don't dislike the Suicide Squad movie either. And I tend to go with the extended cut of that, just like I go with the extended cut of BS. And it's also a better movie. But if it's not what the director wanted, if that's still what the studio wanted to go with, I would really like to see what David Ayer would have done with it.
I'm curious, but I'm not that curious. Like the first 2 acts of the movie were good. The third act, I thought, broke it for me. Like I never have any interest in seeing it again. Though I like the first 2 acts. So, but I just thought that the whole resolution at the end, the final battle, the way the story wrapped up was just not good.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hopeful for the new Justice League thing though. But
yeah, me too. There are other things where like I guess Swanwick from Man of Steel. He was the general.
Okay.
That was in Man of Steel and the rest of them. He's going to be revealed to be Martian Manhunter, and that kind of changes the way I watch Man of Steel
for
now.
Suicide Squad.
No, for Justice League.
Spoilers, Carrie. We have to.
No, this is already this is stuff that they have put out
promotional material.
Promotional material, okay. Yeah.
No, we should still give spoiler warnings because that's okay, Carrie. You're fired again. That's what 3 times tonight.
I've not been fired nearly as much as Mike. I was going to say
you're catching up with Mike. 3 times in one day. No, I mean, you're getting there.
You're not even going to catch up to Mike.
We'll work on it. We'll get you there. So, Matt Damon, he was in Thor Ragnarok, right? Matt Damon. Okay.
Yes.
And who did he play in Thor Ragnarok?
So you remember the scene in Asgard where they're reenacting the whole story of the first 2 Thor movies? So Matt Damon was the one playing Loki. And then you had Luke Hemsworth, who is the other Hemsworth brother.
Not the other Hemsworth, Liam, but the other Hemsworth.
One from Westworld. He was playing Thor, and Sam Neill was playing Odin. So yeah, that's who Matt Damon was playing in Thor Ragnarok.
Well, he apparently is joining Thor: Love and Thunder as well.
Cool.
So whether it's the same character or not, I don't know. I would assume so. Maybe they're doing another little play thing. Maybe we're going to see like the Asgardian take of Endgame, or like, I don't know. But yeah, I guess he's going to be coming back to Love and Thunder. And that's kind of where we're at in this episode, folks. We've got nothing but just lightning round stuff. It's been kind of a slow news week, but one thing we're not going to do in this episode, I started to make a list of different movies that got pushed back. And then I realized when I had about 4 more hours worth of typing to go, we're just going to say, like, if the movie's supposed to come out in 2021, it's getting pushed back.
Probably won't be. And I've been saying this on DC Talk too. It's like, there's going to come a point where even something as big as Black Widow or James Bond is going to get pushed back so far that no one's going to care anymore.
Well,
so I hope they're gambling on.
There's a big deal about the James Bond thing because with James Bond there are a lot of the car manufacturers and the watch manufacturers and stuff, and they put promotional material in the movie to promote their upcoming products and their new car releases and their new watch releases and stuff. And they pay a lot of money that goes to the production of the film. And in the meantime, it's been delayed so long now, that's no longer their new line of car. That's no longer their new line of watch. That's no longer their new line of whatever their product is. All that money they sunk into the movie production, that's I don't want to say it's wasted, because there'll still be that
kind of
promotional, exposure, but it's not the same. It's not, James Bond promotional revenue. Like, it's a very specific thing.
Right.
Yeah. So it keeps getting pushed back. But yeah, so basically, if there's a movie coming out in 2021, expect that whatever you heard the release date was, it's not the release date anymore. There's just been I've literally got like a whole list here. I'm scrolling through pages of things, and there have been a couple of things, at least 2 movies that got pushed back, and then before we could report on the pushback, they got pushed back further again. It's just crazy. We will wait a few months, and then we will give people an updated release schedule when things kind of finalize and we know more about theaters opening back up again, and vaccine rollouts and all of these different things that are affecting when the theaters are going to start actually releasing these things. We'll update you guys later. Don't worry about it. Another DC thing that's coming to HBO Max.
Yes.
There are apparently, to me, this is exciting. They are apparently going to be reviving Batman the Animated Series. They're going to be doing it's a sequel series, right? Yeah, a sequel series is in the works. That's big news. I mean, that was an iconic series.
Yeah, and I had issues when they changed the artwork for the series, but I never disliked the series. Yeah. The change in the artwork, it really came down to me of the eyes, of Joker's eyes. Like suddenly Joker's eyes had no light to them. Yeah,
that's true. A lot of people had issues with it. It was just a slight change, but the change was distinct. Like, you can watch an episode and whether it's the early stuff or the later stuff. But the storytelling and the writing and the production quality and stuff, everything's still there.
Exactly. And when they started bringing in Nightwing and started doing more with Tim Drake, who is my personal favorite Robin, that was pretty cool. When they started, working in some of the Justice League stuff, because they had started doing Justice League Unlimited and stuff, and the Superman animated series, and everything started melding together. That was really cool.
Yeah,
so I would like to see this. I wonder if they're getting how much of the original cast, if any, they're coming back with.
Yeah, we have almost no information about a release schedule, any casting announcements, how many seasons they anticipate, what art style it's going to look like. We have zero information other than that it's being worked on. It's apparently been greenlit, and it's a thing. And to me, that's exciting enough. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really curious. Are they getting any of the voice actors to come back? I don't know. They're still going to get Mark Hamill or not.
Yeah, because
Kevin Conroy, I don't know.
He's retired and then not retired, and then
and Kevin Conroy's kind of done the same thing a little bit too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
But I'm looking at some of the main cast, and we really haven't lost a whole lot of the original cast for the series. I think the first ones, the first 2 names I came across were we lost Bob Hastings, who was the voice of Commissioner Gordon, and we lost Brock Peters, who was the voice of Lucius Fox. And those are the first 2 names on the list that I can see that we don't have anymore. Oh, Roddy McDowell was the voice of Mad Hatter.
Okay.
And he's obviously not around anymore. But
I think people might notice Commissioner Gordon, but I think all of the rest of them, not that those actors didn't do a good job, but I think people might not notice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping they're going to drop some more information on specifics soon, at least a time frame. The sooner the better. I really loved that series. Another thing that is coming really soon, though, and you're of the generation that you'd remember this, is the original Muppet Show from way back in the day. So all 5 seasons. I've only got, I think, 2 or 3 seasons on DVD of the original Muppet Show coming to Disney Plus this month.
Yeah, you've seen the meme at least of what Zoom calls remind you of, and that's the picture of all the Muppets at the end of the opening credits.
I haven't seen that meme because I stay off of social media because I don't hate my life that much.
I could have sworn I posted that to Discord.
I didn't remember seeing it. You might have, but
I might have. I don't know.
I mean, that's such another iconic series. And the funny thing is that most of the people who will end up watching it now won't have any idea who these people are.
This is a perfect way to introduce them to these
Why
people.
do you need to, though? Like, so one that keeps coming to mind that I didn't know at the time who she was, and I still don't know who she is. And I only remember it because it's one of those like Madonna, Cher type, like single name things. And as a kid, I could never figure out why you would only want just one name when you were obviously born with all of your names. Twiggy. Was she an actor? Was she a musician? Yeah. I still don't know. So why does it matter that now we have an opportunity to introduce her to like a whole new generation of people who are the children of other people who don't know who she is either?
Well, I mean, this is a way to introduce your kids or grandkids, depending on how old you are, to the people that you grew up with.
The Muppets.
Watching.
I care about the Muppets. I don't care about any of the other people on there except the Muppets. Now, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Mark Hamill did appear.
And Blues Brothers. Yes. Also, Leonard Nimoy did the Muppet
I did
show.
not know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he sang the Hobbit song on it, but I could be wrong.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, there are definitely some iconic people who people will recognize, but then there are a lot of like just weird stuff. But it's okay because it's the Muppets. Watch it for the Muppets. I don't even care about the other people who are on there,
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's hitting this month. Another thing, Modern Family just popped up somewhere, and I don't remember where it was. It might have been Disney, but Disney and Comcast are both apparently going to share the streaming rights to Modern Family. Maybe it was Peacock that it popped up on.
I don't know. I really never got into Modern Family, so I really couldn't say.
I think between Tim and Lou, I think Tim watched it and Lou hasn't. I've watched most of it. I've missed the last few seasons, but it was good. It was good enough. We mentioned this on the last episode, the Sandman audio drama series from Audible, Sandman by Neil Gaiman. I haven't listened to it, but it's got like a star-studded cast. It's an audio drama. It's not a book, right?
Yeah, it's an audio drama. It's the first 3 volumes of the comic.
Oh, really?
Of the graphic novel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good news for you then. They just greenlit the 2nd and 3rd seasons, if you will.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
So is that going to cover the entire run? Do you know?
I don't know. I never actually got into reading the graphic novels.
Nor did I
only know bits and pieces. I mean, I know about Death. I know about Constantine wasn't really created for. I don't think Constantine was created for the Sandman series, but he was borrowed. They've borrowed, people from DC. It was a DC Vertigo imprint, so they borrowed some of the lesser known DC characters. I think they mentioned Gotham a couple times.
Okay, but it is a direct adaptation of the comic books, then.
I believe so. Yes, and it's a direct adaptation from the time period that the comics were originally set in. I think the Netflix series are going to modernize.
Right. So that is another thing to clarify. There is going to be a Netflix. Is it animated or live action?
It's live action. Gwendolyn Christie is going to be playing Satan or Lucifer, which I find fascinating.
Okay.
So
I'm looking forward to both of them. I haven't. I know that the Audible radio drama has been around for a little while now. It came out last year, I think, right?
Yeah, last year.
We still don't have a release date on the Netflix one, right? I know it got pushed back a little bit.
No, they haven't. They haven't said anything about when it's going to be released.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. But if you haven't picked up the audio drama, I haven't either. It's on my wish list. I'm going to get it with my next Audible credit. People say it is absolutely incredible. So I would probably say it's a safe bet to pick it up. And Neil Gaiman is just such a good writer, too, if you haven't picked up any of his stuff.
And he is such a good narrator, too. He's the narrator for the series. He narrates some of his... He's obviously narrated all of his audiobooks. His voice, kind of like Douglas Adams, it's very soothing.
Yeah, I think did he do American Gods audiobook?
Yeah, he probably did.
I think he did. I listened to that one.
That's one of his.
Yeah. Did you ever watch a sci-fi series that ran for 4 seasons called The 4400?
I did not. That was one I meant to get into. I never did.
See, that's another reason I'm a little bit miffed that Lou dropped out at tonight's recording, Lou, because I think he might have watched it. It was an interesting series. There were 4,400 individuals who were abducted and disappeared. I think for various periods of time, and then all of a sudden they all reemerged at once. And over time, they realized they had these weird powers, like superhero type powers. But it wasn't all like costumey, capey sort of thing. It took more of a realistic approach to it. And the series focused around these 2 detectives who were going and investigating these different occurrences and stuff. And as you would expect, some people turned out to be good. Some people turned out to be bad. The FBI wanted to round them all up. There were a lot of different directions in which the plot went. I really loved the series. I thought it was phenomenal. It's one of my favorite science fiction series to ever hit television. And it's, like I said, it's only 4 seasons, and the final season wasn't very long. And I think the first season was only 6 episodes. It was kind of a mini series that did so well that then they launched it into a full series. Mahershala Ali was in this series, and I think it might have been one of the first.
I remember seeing him his name in the as.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first things he did, and he was incredible in it. He was one of the main characters all the way through the series. Very, very good stuff. Well, there.
By the way, I was wrong. Leonard Nimoy was not in the original Muppet show. He might have been in the remake. I don't remember. But I was just looking back at some of the past guest stars. I'm like, whoa! I forgot these. Yeah,
there's a long list.
We're all on the Muppet Show. It was like Danny Kaye, Loretta Lynn.
People that nobody listening has ever heard of. Elton John, maybe.
Gilda Radner. Kids, ask your parents.
Yeah. But so the 4400 is getting a reboot for the CW, and apparently they've got a lot of faith in it because it's getting a straight to series order. So cool. They don't have to do a pilot and then decide whether or not to pick it up. They're like, nope, we're confident we're going straight to series. So I hope it's good.
Cool.
Paramount Plus may be reviving Frasier.
I had seen something about rumblings about this.
I don't know.
Mostly from unrelated Star Trek groups that I ghost.
Okay.
I lurk in because he had
a small role.
Leslie Grammer, guested on one episode of TNG back in the 80s.
I don't know that the type of sitcom that Frasier is really gonna work now. Like, I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no.
Still need therapy. Maybe they just deal with the radio show. I don't know.
I know you play some video games. Have you played The Last of Us?
I do. I have not.
I haven't either.
I have not. I did see this come up in my feed.
I've watched a lot
along with another casting announcement for this. I did see the Pedro Pascal announcement for The Last of Us, along with Bella Ramsey, who played Lyanna Mormont.
Yep.
On Game of Thrones.
So
apparently she's going to.
Yep. Well. So they've both been cast in the adaptation. I've seen a lot of the cinematics and stuff, and watched Twitch streams. I'm kind of excited about this coming on. I know it's got a really good story to it, and I think that both of them will work pretty well as those two main characters. So,
okay. Yeah, unfortunately, this is, like I said, this is not a video game series I'm familiar with, so I really can't say. I know there's a campaign to get, I think, Diego Luna cast as the brother. I think it's the brother of Pedro Pascal's character,
okay.
but again, not being familiar with the video game, I'm not entirely sure.
It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic sort of plague wipes out most of humanity sort of thing. A little bit
So it's a
Walking
story.
Dead-ish. Oh, it's a very hopeful story with a wonderfully happy ending. Yeah. No, not at all. Speaking of Star Wars related casting, Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Donald Glover, both from Solo, a Star Wars story. They will both be starring in the new Amazon Prime Video remake of Mr. and Mrs. Smith as a TV series.
This could be interesting. I mean, I like the movie.
So that was Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. They both played assassins who were hired to kill each other. And apparently the implication is that Donald Glover and Phoebe Waller-Bridge will be that couple. I didn't actually, it wasn't clarified in the article I read, but that seems to be the implication. So
yeah.
Could be an interesting concept for a series. I don't know that I really want to watch a series about a married couple who are literally trying to kill themselves. Seems a little,
or kill each other.
Bit. Well, yeah, kill each other. Yeah. It seems a little bit too close to, like, I'm not saying it's supporting domestic violence or anything like that, because I think that's maybe a bit of a jump. But, like, I don't know. It's hard to watch people struggling in marriages and then go and watch a show for entertainment that's about them literally trying to assassinate the other one.
Yeah.
The movie was good, but like a series, like just revisiting it over and over and over again, I don't know whether I even want to do that.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, the premise of the movie was that neither of them realized that they were assassins until the hits were put out on each other, and then they were like, "Oh crap!"
Right. So they're both kind of like trying to play it off and not really. Yeah, it's got comedic value. I mean, I'm kind of interested in it, and I'm kind of curious, but I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about that. But to wrap up the episode, we do have a "What Were They Thinking" section, and I kind of wanted to save this for when I had Tim and Lou here, but we'll go on without them, and I'll just get their opinions on it later. So there are years ago, there were some board game properties that got picked up for film ideas, and they were just really, really bad. And of course, we got Battleship, which was bad. But there were like some really stupid ones like Candyland and Chutes and Ladders and the Monopoly game. I could kind of see that one maybe being doable. You could have a movie set in like the Great Depression or something. I don't know. Like it. Okay. Real estate in a city that's doable. There's a story there.
Maybe
the Tetris game, not so much. But we have a couple of things here. There has been a Clue series that is animated coming to Fox, and this is different from the Ryan Reynolds movie that Jason Bateman had been associated with. He was going to direct and act in it. He's not going to direct anymore. He might act in it, and there's still kind of will they, won't they? But Fox is doing an animated series.
That could be interesting.
Kids aren't going to care. Adults typically aren't going to watch animated stuff unless it's like Simpsons, Family Guy. And even then, it's a fraction of the adult demographic.
Well, if it's some kind of formulaic, whodunit type thing, maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing spitballs here. When Clue is very hard to play when you only have 2 people anyway. Mm-hmm. So that just ends up, being way too easy a game to win.
Well, yeah, if you're not the killer, kind of narrows it down. Yeah. I don't know about this. I'm not very optimistic. But wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
The board game Risk.
I was about to say this could be interesting if they did it somewhat like along the lines of Battleship, but then I remembered that Battleship wasn't
interesting, and it was done along the lines of Battleship. Yeah. Now this is being done by the creator of House of Cards, so there's hope. But,
maybe.
I mean, what is it? It's going to be a war, and like somebody walks up to somebody on the other side and checks what rank they are, and then as long as you outrank them, they're dead. Like, how is it?
I never really had the mental capacity to play Risk. Oh
no, I'm thinking Stratego. Never mind. Risk is just a global thing where you roll the dice and you move the pieces around. But then how is that different from any other like World War movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why call it Risk? Why does it have to be associated with the board game? I don't get how this is. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I got one better one for you. Okay, this may be. And we've talked Tetris, right? This may be, and the Emoji Movie, which actually exists. That's the thing. This may be the stupidest movie idea ever. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This may be it. Uno. The card game Uno. But wait, there's more. You thought you got to the stupid part, right? No, it gets better. So it's going to be starring from Teen Titans Go to the Movies, Grammy nominee Lil Yachty. Okay. Because of course, Uno is going to be set in the underground hip hop world of Atlanta.
Okay.
Because obviously it's a heist comedy.
I don't get it.
Which part, Carrie? Which part of heist comedy, underground world of hip hop in Atlanta, starring Lil Yachty, and it's Uno? Which one of those do you not get? They seem pretty self-explanatory.
The part where any of this is associated with the card game, and I'm looking at the notes. I still don't understand how this has anything to do with the actual card game. I mean, I would rather see a movie based on Catan. That's just
You could do that.
That's just sheep and wood jokes. Because why not?
Yeah, I could come up with half of that. I could probably write that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's better movie potential than this. This is real. This isn't a joke. This Mattel Films has confirmed it. Confirms it's a quote comedic action adventure. Uno. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even know how to respond to this one.
I don't understand what that's supposed to be.
It's going to be interesting. I'll give it that. Like, I really want to see where this goes because words cannot even express what a stupid concept this is. Like, this really takes a cake. I cannot think of any. If you out there can name an actual reported movie concept that has been greenlit that is stupider than this, let us know. Because I challenge you. I challenge you to do that. Go to randomchatter.com/Discord. Go to the Random Chatter channel there and let us know, because I have a hard time coming up with anything that is this bad. Like, this is... I would almost rather watch a Pong movie. I mean, you could even make that about tennis or ping pong championships or something. Like, that's the thing. Give me any concept and I can come up with something that works. But this, I literally can't come up with an idea for an Uno movie. And even then, one that is a heist comedy action adventure set in the underground hip hop world of Atlanta. Like,
that's
what?
odd. You know what? That's oddly specific
It's really specific.
for a game that's based on a movie that's based on a card game.
Like I kept waiting for the article to say in outer space too, just to like throw that in.
Because why not?
Because why not? Just take Atlanta, throw it in outer space too while you're at it. Like there's just none of this that makes any sense. I don't understand. But that is all the news we have for this episode, and it is getting late, so we are going to wrap here. Next week we're going to see how Lou and Tim respond to this, because wow, I don't even know how to respond to that. But I want to hear your responses. Go to randomchatter.com/Discord. It's free to join the server. Hop in there, go to the Random Chatter channel, and let us know, is there anything stupider than this that you've ever seen reported that's been confirmed as an actual movie premise? Because wow, this takes the cake. Yeah. And while you got that browser open, hit randomchatter.com, randomchatter.com/YouTube. Hit the subscribe and like button down below. And you can go to randomchatter.com/Patreon to help support the network, /store to pick up some t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies with the Random Chatter logo, the Force Chatter logo. We have one for the DC Talk and Caped Chronicles logos as well, correct?
We do. I believe we also have one for Enter the Dojo.
Excellent. All three shows that Carrie helps host for us. She also does the website and the Discord server for Random Chatter, and we are very appreciative of that. And then you've got one other show not on Random Chatter. That is the Sci-Fi Pubcast.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And I have no idea when we're recording again, because Joel's busy at the moment with something. I don't know.
Priorities, man. Come on.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us and filling in for all those losers who couldn't be bothered to show up tonight.
Well, hey, you know, I think as I said on Force Chatter, you know, we're Mike and I are usually recording when you guys are recording, and I was going to jump in last night because we recorded early, but then we rescheduled. So
Valentine's Day and I am sure. See, here's what's really happening. Okay, Lou and Tim and Lizzie, they realize it's President's Day today, and they're off celebrating. And they couldn't bother to show up for the podcast. That's what it is. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
I've seen them party before, and talk about a wild President's Day raucous. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's okay. They'll be hungover tomorrow. That's going to do it for Random Chatter. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you again in a week. Until then, take care.